us from Venture School, Jennifer Banta in the back. Jennifer, hello. And yes, yay. And we have Katie with us. Katie's running, yes, there she is. And we have Eilish in the back, and we have Kate. So those are our Venture School team that's been helping us put together this final pitch day. So throughout this 8-week program, the teams have been working every day of the week to develop their startup idea and use the Lean Launchpad methodology focusing on the business model canvas. So they did this through brunch and learns, office hours, mentor meetings, a lot of presentations, and some lectures, and just a lot of work, with the whole goal being that they wanted to accelerate their process, that startup process, and create more opportunity for success, for their business success. So we have seen iterations, pivots, 360-degree concept changes, actually another 360-degree concept changes, maybe a few more this year than what we have in the past. But you know what, that's really good, because they listen to their customer discovery, they listen to feedback, and they really wanted to find a problem that they could solve that people wanted. What a novel idea, right? And we know how challenging that can be, because sometimes you can get one or two of those, but to get all three of them. So it's been a really good experience for them. So a big Iowa thank you to our volunteer mentors. Without you guys and gals, we could not do the program. They helped with individual teams, they helped with multiple teams, they attended presentations, they put in a lot of hours in different ways. Could I have all of our mentors stand up, please? Don't be shy. Awesome. Give them a big round of applause. And I know that the teams thank you especially for all of your advice and assistance. So now let's meet our judges. We have Kurt Heyer. Kurt is with the University of Iowa, the lecturer. Kurt, he's on this side, so when you hear him talking. And next we have Leslie Triplett with the Dumpling Darling. If you haven't had those dumplings, you gotta go check those out. They're awesome. And we have Adam Ingersoll next with Compass Education Group. And Leslie Triplett with the, other Leslie, which actually we got your packages. Yeah, Leslie Nolte. So Leslie Triplett's over here, and Leslie Nolte's over here with the Dance Academy, Nolte Academy. So let's thank our judges for being here. All right, are we ready now? You ready to hear these guys pitch? So this is how it's going to work. 6 minutes. They've got 3-minute question or feedback from the judges, comments. After the presentations, the judges will go and deliberate. And some of us will stay here, including the students, and we'll be doing a little graduation ceremony. So we'll be having something go on while the judges are determining the awards. So as I call up each team, I'd like us to give them a big round of applause with a lot of energy to help them give their best presentation. And so our first presenters, Adventurist. Experience, because you're thinking, wow, this is one of the most amazing things I'll ever do in my life, and I can't believe I'm actually living it right now. Well, that's the feeling that many of us are seeking when we travel, and it's the feeling that I was having in this photo. I was all the way on the other side of the world, off the coast of Vietnam. It was one of the most amazing experiences I'd ever had, but it was almost a information overload, links upon links, and if it's something that overwhelms you, you're certainly not alone. Our research actually shows that the average woman spends 20 hours planning each vacation, and because of this information overload, we're forced to ask ourselves this continuous cycle of questions. Things like, is this accurate? Who gave this review? Do they like the same things I like? We're thinking things like, I can't figure out what this means. There's too much to compare. How do I book this? Can I trust this? And after hours of this, you end up feeling a little bit like this, when really all you wanted was to feel like this. Well, I'm Lisa Ferguson, the founder of Adventurist, and our goal is to help you break that cycle by becoming the go-to online resource for women adventure travelers. Imagine a place where you could get all the information you need to plan and prepare for your trip, but only the information that you need. Well, we know how important it is to do this right and really differentiate ourselves. So we spoke with 100 women who travel frequently between the ages of 18 and 60, and it turns out that we all really want similar things. One is we want a voice that can encompass our own, and we believe that as women adventure travelers ourselves, we are very well suited to encompass the voice of women adventure travelers. The second is trust. We want to know that the information we're relying on is trustworthy, and it turns out that the information we tend to trust the most are first-hand accounts, detailed accounts from other women who have already done the same thing. We also want curated information. We want what's most relevant to us and a sense of community. So that's what we've created with Adventurist. Adventurist is an online platform where women can share their travel experiences. In turn, we curate those tips and advice and then help women use that information to plan their trips. Within just 3 days of launch, we've already had 95 visits. 85 of those are unique. That's great news for me because it means only 10 of those are my mom. Usually she does a lot more than that. After just 3 years of launch, but they're really just a social media site. They don't provide the same type of value that we're planning on providing. So where women can figure out the clothing and the gear that they need, actually book those experiences on the platform, know which ones are certified and which ones they can trust. And so we've incorporated that not just into our value proposition, but into our revenue. So our 3-year plan looks a little something like this. In year 1, we're looking at growing to 2,000 members and using that freemium membership as well as ads and affiliate links for revenue. 4,000 members, and adding on a booking service where you can actually book on the platform, taking a transaction fee of that. And in year 3, growing to 12,000 members and adding on a certification service where we would work with those providers to help prepare them for the types of specific experiences that women are interested in, and then women would be able to know which ones have gone through that certification process. And we really believe that we're the team to make this happen. I have a background in journalism and grassroots. I took another online startup from 25,000 to 500,000 subscribers in just 2 years. And I just got my MBA in corporate finance. And my teammate for the summer is Nicole Jardine. She's getting her PhD in cognitive psychology, so very smart woman right here. And one of the things that she looks at is how people deal with information overload and how they process information on websites. So with our skill set, our background, and our passion, we believe that we can make the world better for the women who travel it. And we're happy to take any questions. Was that the timer? Oh.
Ready? Hello. You spoke the truth, I think, although maybe more than 20 hours if you have a family. So that's going to be the current question. Is this based primarily on solo experiences, female? I understand female, but when you talk about families and all of what that comes along with it, or when we're talking about the customers that you hope to attain, are we singly focused? And didn't get that answer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So to start, we're really focused on solo female travel. We want to really make sure that we can narrow in on a very niche market and go after that market really heavily. That being said, we have talked to people who travel with their friends, with their families, with their significant other. And so I think eventually we'd like to explore growing to the point where we can incorporate all of those different needs. We've talked about maybe a platform where people can input, everybody going on the trip can input the things that they're interested in to help really plan that. But I think that would be something for a little bit down the road, just to give ourselves the time to get our feet underneath us and really go after that niche market.
Lisa, I like your introduction. I thought
Thank you.
that, very quickly got to the point. And I understand about your, I'm sorry. And I understand about your point on voice and the 4 things you had on there: voice and trust, firsthand experience. How have you validated, since basically I heard here that your company's core is based on those being the 4 needs? What have you done to validate that those are in fact what single traveling women really want?
Yeah, so we did both in-person interviews as well as sent out a survey, and we asked, what does your typical travel planning process look like now, and what are the things that you find are most important? What are the things that you would really be looking for? And if you had one resource that could help you the most, what would that be? And consistently, those are the 4 that came up in those 100 customer discovery interviews.
Lisa, I think your idea is really cool.
Thanks.
I have done a lot of solo traveling, and I probably would use something like this. But my question is, how do people find you? How do these female travelers, how do they get to your site?
Yeah, that's another great question. That's something that we're really focused on. So our goal is we're starting out by inviting people individually. We want to reach out to travel bloggers and backpackers because we know that there are so many women who do want to take this on, and then have them spread it to their friends as well. You know, we're also looking at your traditional marketing like SEO and things of that nature, but we know how important word of mouth is, because one thing that we've found is that women aren't going to just trust this site just because I say that they can, right? So we know how important it is to partner with somebody in the field who's already trusted, so that we can be an affiliate link on their site, we can get referrals from them, referrals from other women travel bloggers. So those will be partnerships that we're pursuing really heavily to gain, to really get the ball rolling and gain that word of mouth recommendations.
Question, the best review sites really put forth authenticity by having their reviewers be identified. You can see this is a real person. How will your user experience, how will the site be open enough for the reviews to feel authentic while also respecting the community's privacy? How will you balance that?
Yeah, so what we want to avoid is sort of like the TripAdvisor style of review where you're sorting through sometimes literally thousands of reviews, you don't know who they are. So what we're doing right now is we're asking anyone that provides a review to give just their first name and then their city and country where they're located. And then what we'd like to work up to eventually is sort of like an Airbnb where you can actually create a profile on the site. And then once you see this review is provided by, Andrea from Chicago, you'd be able to click on her profile and see, oh, she's been here, she's been to Thailand, she's been to a lot of the places I want to go to, so maybe I'm more likely to trust her advice because we have similar interests. Thank you.
Okay, great job. Thank you very much, Lisa. And next we have Bluefine Media, and they're actually live streaming the presentations today. So we've got an MVP going on right here in the midst of us. So please help me welcome Bluefine Media.
Hello, and good afternoon. Over the past couple of years, I've been involved in sports broadcasting and live production. As a result of being involved in sports broadcasting and live production, some of the questions I typically get from the users that use the sports broadcast and live production side for sports is, why can't my event ever be broadcast? What are the different avenues for me to be able to view my event? Why is it that only certain sports are broadcast? Why is it that only outdoor sports are broadcast? As a result of those questions, that led me to my internship with the food technology company Q My Foods. Through the work with Q My Foods, I worked on their project as their production intern, helping them to produce a specialized cellular router that allowed them to handle their credit card data and push it across the internet for mobile food trucks. As a result of this practice with them and the idea, it speared my interest. I figured, why not? Why not apply this same method to the audio and the video and the broadcast world? As a result of that, I continued to do the research and the method, and now have developed BStream, which is what I bring you today. Here's a little bit about our product, BStream. BStream is what bridges the gap between the schools, the family members, and the audience that want to be able to view their streams all over the world with or without an internet connection. The way our product works is that we've had our MVP for Johnston High School, and we MVP'd with Johnston High School. And as a result of that, we were able to broadcast their live games. When we were able to broadcast their live games in their baseball fields, which had no internet, we achieved 1,382 views, 2,203 people were able to engage with our videos, and 538 people were able to view the videos outside of Facebook and YouTube. Now, what these numbers told us was that parents were definitely interested and that they were definitely looking for a way to be able to stream their sports without the use of an internet connection, and the schools also. This also then led us to our customer discovery. As a result of our customer discovery, we did 101 customer discoveries. We discovered that 90% of our customers wanted events streamed online for sports exposure to their schools, and this information was useful to be able to allow scouts even to view baseball events, softball, basketball, football. Most of these sports that happen in the summer don't always have a stable internet connection, or because they're outdoors, one doesn't exist. We also discovered that 75% of the schools wanted a dedicated sports team. So some of the work that we did was we broadcasted for 1 Million Cups as one of our MVPs, and then we also did Johnston High School their game. So as a result of our customer discovery, we're now able to focus better on our target market, and we were able to narrow it down to high school directors and athletic directors. Our addressable market size was 37,000 high schools in the US and 500 high schools, which we'll be focusing on in the state of Iowa. Our customer archetype we then continued to narrow down, which was about 30 athletic directors of the 101 people that we talked to. We specifically wanted to narrow it down to them. We discovered that their wants were they wanted their outdoor games to be broadcast. They wanted a dedicated crew that would also focus on them and provide them the technology to be able to do this. We also discovered that they wanted to be able to provide their athletes with better sports exposure for scouts in the future for when they have to do high school. Now this brings us to our customer relations. The way we will intend on getting our customers is through calling our customers, face-to-face meetings, and social media campaigns. The way we intend to keep our customers is through follow-ups, technical support along the way through the entire production process, and soliciting feedback. The way we intend to grow is we will work to develop our customer relationships, continue with our customer discoveries, and also continue to ask for the surveys and see what things we can do to improve. Now for our pricing tactics and how we'll make money. We will first offer our potential customers, being high schools, we'll offer them bundle pricing and cost plus pricing. For our bundle pricing, this will be seasonal contracts where they will have the opportunity to rent out and pay for the entire season. The cost plus pricing will add our markup, and they will pay per event, so it'll be special events like homecoming, basketball, or the end of the season events that they just want broadcast. So our 3-year projection include, we expect to make about $34,000 our first year, $134,000 our second year, and $446,000 in our third year. Keep in mind for our first year, we will not be intending on paying ourselves, and by our third year, we will have full and part-time staff. Why would anybody choose us over some of our competition, such as Tiller Advertising and other public access networks? Well, the reason is because we have good picture quality. We have excellent mobility. We're able to work on location. We don't need a physical internet connection to be able to do a broadcast of anyone's event. We also have a fair price as compared to our competitors, and we're also one of the production companies that is able to use a 4G network to perform the broadcast. And here's our awesome team that has made this all possible. I'm Kofi Mantiel, CEO for Background in Journalism, Chantel, Finance, and Kamak, Economics and Finance. Any questions?
Kofi, thank you. Good job. I'm trying to make sure I understand the product correctly. So you're saying the school doesn't have to provide the internet connection. So is your service providing a 4G connection that you bring to the school, and what hardware are you providing? I just wasn't clear enough on what the product and what is actually at the field. You could elaborate on that.
So in order to elaborate on what B-Stream is bringing to the schools and high schools is we're bringing our broadcast customized cellular router, and if the schools are interested, we're also going to bring our full production team with them.
Video, the whole thing.
We're providing video, everything.
Thank you. I like the fact that you mentioned a few of the things about Get, Keep, and Grow and pricing tactics, so at least you've looked at some of the materials for startup, and that's good. A quick question for you. When you talk about and you say something like, I'm going to go out and we're going to get high schools, that's like saying, I'm going to build a rocket ship. There's a lot of devil in the details, and the sales cycles with academic institutions in general tend to be very long because they don't have a lot of excess cash. And so in order to get this actually up and get some traction, are you going to look for partners? Are you going to try to do something with existing media or online companies? Or are you literally thinking you're going to go now?
So the way we'll tackle this is we'll be partnering with several schools, starting with my home high school. And because I've done broadcast for the school, a lot of the schools in the past, I already have a connection established with them. So we'll be going to existing database of schools that we've pre-picked and that have said that they had an interest in our product.
My follow-up question on that is, I think I agree. The school's not likely to have a pot of money available to just pay you, so they would need to be hearing about ways that by offering your service, by streaming more of their games, what would be other ways they could fund that? And what kind of ideas would you have for them?
Okay, the advertising market is really big, so we expect we'll bring that onto the table to the schools. You could advertise what you want to advertise, and you could get revenue from that, and that would ease the pain of having to pay us a lot of money.
Okay, thank you guys. And the next team up is LOCAD.
Hi, I'm Niall Oliver.
And I'm Hannah Carell, and our business is LOCAD. Earlier this summer, we were on a road trip to Alabama, which is about a 16-hour car ride, so we were taking turns driving. When it's my turn to drive, it's late at night, and we're running low on gas. Niall's asleep in the passenger seat, and I don't have any service on my phone because we're in the middle of nowhere. I start desperately looking alongside the road for any signs or exits coming up, but I don't see anything because it's so dark out, and I'm really worried we're about to be stuck on the highway for the night. This is an example of just one instance, but stuff like this happens all the time. Nearly 4.5 years of our lives is spent behind the wheel. What if during this time we could put brands in front of consumers so no one else will have to worry about the next gas station or finding a place to eat? LOCAD increases opportunities for advertisers by bringing customers on the road to businesses alongside the road. while also generating additional revenue for trucking companies. This is accomplished through our location-based, just-in-time advertising solution. What's this going to look like? Well, you'll see it like this. LOCAD magnetically attaches LED screens to semi-trailers, and then using our GPS software, generates advertisements based on the location of the vehicle.
Now I know what you're thinking. Are drivers really going to notice these ads? Well, actually, they will. According to a survey by the American Trucking Association, 91% of people on the road notice words and pictures on the sides of truck fleet vehicles. This just shows that semis are a relevant medium. Of that 91%, 96% said truckside ads have more impact than those of a static billboard. But we didn't just talk to drivers. We talked to 37 brands and agencies and 22 trucking companies. What did we find? Well, we found that agencies and brands want a better way to get in front of consumers right before they make a purchasing decision. That's why we decided to focus in on the just-in-time marketing concept. On the other side, trucking companies express frustrations with working with very low margins, but they also wanted to maintain their brand value. There are a few competitors in this space, but we all do things a little bit differently. For example, Spark rents and sells trucks with digital screens already built in. Lamar focuses mainly on billboards, both digital and vinyl. And our closest competitor, Truck Ads, leases digital screens to commercial vehicles. But this is why we're better. We provide 4 key benefits. We allow brands the flexibility to customize and engage with their consumers through digital screens across our nation's roadways. Digital allows instantaneous creative updates and the ability to respond in real time to current events and market conditions. Brands can impact specific geographic and demographic audiences close to the point of sale. And because our brands are only paying for the times and locations that they want, we are optimizing their ad spend and enhancing their return on investment.
Taking a look at the trucking market, there are currently 255 million vehicles on the road today. Of that, 7.7 million are trucks and trailers. So we are targeting 2 million trailers from the top 20 trucking companies in the nation. On the advertising side, last year, $303.6 billion was spent on advertising alone. Of that, $13 billion was outdoor advertising. We are targeting 1% of that from the top 20 advertising agencies.
So given the size of the market, our revenue projections are based on having 10 trucks on the road in year 1, 50 in year 2, and 250 by the end of year 3.
A look at our team. It consists of Grant, myself, Matt, and Niall. We have expertise in marketing, advertising, communications, and finance. We are the perfect fit because we get the job done. We already have a verbal commitment from CRST, a top 20 trucking company, and we are currently in the process of solidifying an ad agency in the Chicagoland area. So join us in revolutionizing advertising on the move.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
Thank you.
Testing, okay. So my question for you is, what's your revenue model like? Like how do you guys make money?
That's a great question. So our revenue model has a lot of different factors in it, but the most important ones are the number of trucks on the road, the miles they drive, and then the number of exits. And then we charge $1 for every ad that's triggered.
Okay. And I will follow up. Who are the people who are the advertisers?
So advertisers are corporate brands, but corporate brands also outsource their marketing campaigns to these big advertising agencies. So specifically would be digital advertisers. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Question to back up, the front-end money, who's paying to put the digital ad space on the trucks? And is the trucking company responsible for that? Is that part of your company?
Great question. So we actually purchase the LED screens and we give them to the truckers for free, trucking companies for free.
A related question. Do these magnetic LCD screens with GPS-based technology, and it sounds like some way of updating the content in real time, and that are hardy enough for these road conditions. Is that hardware, does that technology exist? Or are you investing in R&D to create it? Are you sourcing it? It's a non-trivial cost.
Yes. Okay, so these screens do exist. We do have an ideal LED producer we'd like to partner with, but they're out of China right now, and they have waterproof, weatherproof, magnetic LED screens that you can order by meter. And then as for the software that goes with it, we actually are talking to a GPS software licensor. But to get these working cohesively, we might need either a video production box alongside in the truck, but the truckers won't have any responsibility to be changing the ads.
Right. One more. It's interesting you mentioned competitors. I haven't actually seen this on the road yet myself, and I was wondering if it became ubiquitous and every truck going down the road was a flashing billboard. Has there been any diligence yet on the safety concerns this might raise, and what are your thoughts on how that might play out?
Yeah, so we've talked to the IODOT, and we've got their permission as of now. Since there's no other companies like this, they don't have anything set up in place to counteract our idea, I guess. Really, the only thing they have is for digital billboards, they have to stay 8 seconds per slide, and then you can switch them within 1 to 2 seconds. But that's the only thing as of now.
And just for clarification, all of our advertisements would be static, non-moving, and the 8 seconds is just a minimum, so they can be up there for long periods of time. Just so they don't distract drivers, they ask them to keep them 8 seconds and no shorter than that.
I have one more. This is from the very beginning, but argue with me the need when, for instance, my car flashes every gas station on the GPS. So argue that I have Arby's, McDonald's, and Shell in my own car. So as an advertiser, would I spend more money on the trucks on I-80 when the majority of cars have it on their dashboard? Argue, what do you think?
Can you clarify the question?
So my question is, I'm McDonald's, and in my Toyota Highlander, all the McDonald's M's appear on my dashboard. They appear on my map wherever I'm driving. If I press food, if I press gas, all the gas stations appear. So as that advertiser, the one that's going to spend the money to get on the truck, I'm curious as to maybe the argument that they would like the static truck advertisement when, as cars continue to evolve, it would be at my own hands without them spending the additional ad dollars.
It's a good question. Basically, what we add value is we add an actual advertisement, and it's a lot bigger than just your logo that shows up on a screen. So, yeah,
That's fair.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so our next presenter, and we got to get a little bit louder. I know we're kind of draining on the enthusiasm here. So let's give it up for Culturally Connected.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa,
I'm Calvin.
and we're Culturally Connected. So 7 years ago, both Calvin and I immigrated to the United States and started high school here. Unfortunately, neither of us spoke any English or understood what American culture was, and even something simple as to answer what's up. We also didn't understand what the concept of a spirit week, wearing Superman outfits and pajamas to school for the whole week. And most importantly, we didn't understand how to create those long-lasting friendships with American students, because often we heard, oh, hey, you're so cool, we should totally hang out, and then we'd never hear from them again. We're not the only ones who face this problem. Chinese students here at the University of Iowa have expressed struggles to adjust into American culture. And after doing over 100 customer interviews, we have confirmed that most, if not all, international students go through these issues. And the top 3 issues that international students face are communication language barriers, creating long-lasting friendships with American students due to lack of similar experience, and really understanding how to connect based on the experience. And the third one are cultural and lifestyle differences. This is where Culturally Connected comes in with a solution. We provide 3 different options that can be purchased separately or together. The first one are cultural events ranging from sports events to local events that are Our customers are paired up with mentors that take them to these events, explain them the history, the background, and teach them culture through experience. The second option are 6-week group sessions that dive into topics anywhere from safety to legal to dating culture to academic and social success. And the third one is one-on-one mentorship consulting, which is a subscription-based model that offers up to 10 appointments with our company. Through these options, Culturally Connected helps international students with their culture in transition and to succeed socially and academically. By doing our customer discovery, we have learned that juniors and seniors are the ones who have the energy and focus on their professional development and thinking about their career, because by that point, it's taken them up to 2 to 3 years to feel comfortable in American culture. And this is why our primary target are the incoming international students who have never had any Westernized education. Our primary buyer are their parents, who expect academic success out of their children and have their children studying alone without any support system that they know of. Our third target are agencies. We're currently talking to the biggest Korean agency to establish partnership where we provide our service to them as an add-on to the package they already provide to their customers, and in turn, we get them as our channel to get our customers. And just to point out, agencies are the most common way for Asian students to get into American schools.
Also, we already have 16 domestic students show interest in becoming our mentors. We have a very high standards for our mentors because we want them to be very open-minded with a strong interest in diversity. We are aiming at students who are majoring in international studies, foreign language, and education. Then we'll match them with our customers who share the same interest in culture. As you can see, the market size for international students has been growing at a really fast pace. Even just at Iowa, there are more than 4,500 international students here. So our total addressable market will be all 900,000 international students in the States. At the start, we want to focus only on the Asian group of international students here at the University of Iowa, which is about 3,800 students. We face competition from the university and church because they offer similar service for free, but free is not always good. From our customer discovery, only 10% of the students say that only 10% of students who participate in this program say they're helpful. Because they're volunteer-based, they require low level of commitment and also the lack of demand from the domestic students. A lot of competitor was EZK. EZK is a service company based in Canada. They offer the service only to Chinese students and everything's online. They charge up to $11,000 per semester, compared to them only charge to around $1,000. Our 3 years financial projection, the first year, we want to test our curriculum to around 30 students. And the second year, we are growing to our university in the state of Iowa. By third year, we want to expand to our Big Ten universities and also high schools. This is our team. Lisa and I are the co-founders. We also have Jihan, who's an international student from South Korea, and Alex, who's a domestic student. As you can see, we have a very diverse team here. We are passionate about this because we have a first-hand experience. We understand the problem and we know the pain. That's why we come together as Culturally Connected, because we want to help out the international students to make their culture transition more welcoming and rewarding. Thank you all very much.
I started a couple just really straightforward questions. The mentors are themselves international students or not necessarily?
So we want them to be the domestic students, not the international ones.
Domestic, okay. And the programming is all in person or is any of it online?
Our company wants to focus on the relationship building, so we want to do it all in person.
Okay, now my hard question. It's a really important problem, and a lot of those are trying to solve it. The problem is meaningful programming that isn't just a one-time thing, that actually engages people. And talk just a little bit about what actually happens, what the programming actually looks like.
So right now we're working on curriculum and talking to professionals and experts in educational field, cultural studies, and international studies fields to help us develop the curriculum. Based on our customer discoveries, we know what are the topics that people talk about that they most struggle with, and so we have included in our group sessions curriculum where it's a lot of them, it's legal problems, the safety, the academic success, careers, professional advising, and so a lot of it is soft skills too, and so as a company we want to focus on the soft skills because it's important to be successful as you're moving forward. Does that answer your question? Okay.
I think this is a big problem on our campus, and so I would love to see a solution for it. So my question for you is, how do you plan on scaling? Do you see this being at every university across the country, and how do you plan on getting there?
That's a great question. Like, pretty much everyone asks us, how do you scale this business? Because for service business, it's very different. At the start, we want to focus on one-on-one to building the customer relationship. But in the future, we hope to have different channels like agencies to help us to attract more students and provide more group session. And also the one-on-one consulting is a subscription model. So that's a lot of advantage for our service. And we hopefully to have like videos of different lessons to put on our website so people can just purchase this lesson before they arrive in the States.
And just to add on what he was saying, sorry. Right now we're focusing on Iowa, then we want to expand on the other universities. And as we're moving forward, we plan on going to the high schools because I know that was a problem for me when I moved here, and then corporate world as well, just because America is becoming such an internationalized and diverse community that there's so much traffic that in the future, it's always going to be a thing where people from different countries are going to be coming through here.
Thank you. Nice presentation, you guys and lady. Couple questions for you. Number one, on your grid where you showed Easy Key and the university programs and that, I noticed with the check boxes, really the check you had versus what other people had was what you called professional service. I'd like to know what that means versus other people, that are in there. I'm assuming it doesn't mean they're not professionals, so what does that mean? And then secondly, is this something with the University of Iowa where you would look to partner as an official representative of the university, or are you a separate business coming on campus trying to just get Asian students to work with you?
Okay, so to answer your first question about the professional services, so university and churches, it's all volunteer based. With churches, you usually have to be religiously affiliated with the church to participate in it. And a lot of people, it can be students, it can be kids, so there's not really any standard on what kind of service they provide. With the university, it's also volunteer based. It's student peers who kind of can answer the questions, and there's not really a commitment to show up or to help. Whereas for us, professional service means that we have a very well developed curriculum that I said that we're working with people right now. And we want to have really standardized curriculum, so it doesn't depend on what culture you come from, but you get the same information, and where we can assess and get the feedback to see what is helpful, what is not helpful. But by professional service, we mean that it is standardized and we answer questions for the people in a professional manner.
And to answer your second question, actually we talked to a lot of university administrators. The undergrad dean of college business actually told us if we can do really well, he will be interested in purchase our service and then deliver to the international students. So yes, we could potentially sell our service to universities.
All right, great job, guys. And now we have Dental Eye. Let's give it up for Dental Eye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Iman, and Hi, my name is Iman. I am the co-founder of Dental Eye. For the last 10 years, I've been practicing general and cosmetic dentistry, and I became very passionate about giving people the smiles they've always dreamed of. Serving a bigger purpose, I have dedicated my PhD research project in helping other dentists deliver the best smiles to their patients. What is interesting is that nowadays, patients are seeking cosmetic dentistry because they understand that a beautiful smile is a healthy smile. And cosmetic dentistry is a growing industry. It's generating $2 billion annually in the US alone, and with a growth rate of 3 to 4%. So what is cosmetic dentistry? We are pretty much the plastic surgeons of your teeth. We can fix teeth color, shape, alignment, and spaces by placing veneers and/or crowns. This dramatic, beautiful change is done through teamwork. It's not a one-man job, and it requires work between dentist and the lab technician. So let's see what happens behind the scenes. While the dentists who work on the patient in the clinic send the case to a lab technician who doesn't always get the chance to see the patient in person. So the lab technician relies on what the dentist sees and shares with him or her. This communication happens through written job orders, and depending on the dentist, it may or may not include photos, emails, and phone calls. So you can see from this disorganized and uncoordinated communication how some valuable information can be messed up or mixed. Miscommunication leads to remake, and remake is waste of time. We have talked to 100 customers in our customer discovery, 70 dentists and 30 lab technicians, and they have all confirmed that this is a major problem for them. Take Dr. Roberts, for example. He waits 36 hours annually, and that equates to $20,000 to $40,000 in lost revenue. And that doesn't include the potential revenue that he could be making by seeing other patients. He's also not getting any referrals from his unsatisfied customers. Nancy, on the other hand, is very talented, and she's working with 30 different lab technicians. And she would love that every dentist will include a photo in their communication because it helps her do an outstanding job and minimize the chance of remake. And we are the team to solve this problem because we have a variety of experts in dentistry, IT, physics, and IT. Our solution will combine all communication elements in one platform, giving value to our customers, dentists and lab technicians, a way to communicate to save time and money. So our technology will require dentists to take a photo with any type of camera, upload that photo in the cloud-based portal, add the job order, so the lab technician will get that information instantly and in real time with the ability to interact and ask questions about the case. Then the dentist will have notification of the progress of the case and then when the case is done. We are marketing our software to 7,000 to dentists and lab technicians, and we're targeting 7,000, which is 3% of the served addressable market. Our affiliation with the University of Iowa will give our company credibility and strength in the market. We have identified early champions in the College of Dentistry, and that to speak about our technology in worldwide conferences. Also, because we know our customers, we know that we have to validate our technology with publications and data. We're targeting dental schools also because once the students are comfortable using something, they will continue using it afterwards. And then we learn from our customers that trade shows are a good place to acquire customers. So we'll be offering business-to-business annual subscription with the same model for dentist and lab technician. For our 3-year forecast, we will be spending $35,000 in development cost. We will break even in the fourth quarter of the first year, and in our second year, we'll start paying ourselves, and in the third year, we will be tripling our sales, reaching 2.4 million, and that's just getting to 1% of the market. Early in 2017, we'll be releasing our first beta testing. We will hit the international market in 2019. 2020, we will be releasing our second generation material app selection. Our company's goal is to create everlasting smiles, not only for patients, but for the dental team as well. Thank you.
It's clear to me that you really understand the pain points of all the different people involved, so I think that's really great. Is there any other company that's currently doing something like this?
That's a good question. So what we found is there are different solutions for each problem separately. There are companies who are doing digital color communication and selection. There are emailing system or job orders that's done just to fill prescriptions. So what we're offering is something all in one, all the communication portal in one solution, and there is nothing like that right now.
So I saw currently, the problem makes a lot of sense. Only 10% of dentists actually pass on a photo to the technicians. But you're not a hardware solution. You're relying on the dentist's smartphone, camera, and the dentist's ability to use it, and lighting, and so on. What does the app actually do? Does the app standardize the quality of the photos? Or talk a bit more about the tech.
So yeah, that's a very good question, but because we have 6 minutes, it's very hard to let you guys understand the problem and then understand the solution too. So the dentist will take a photo, the software will standardize the distance, the lighting, a lot of technical details, and auto-color correction by using a calibration card. So it will help with color communication too. And then with adding the job description and everything. And also we want to have some kind of standards, so if the photo does not meet that, it won't be uploaded.
Nice presentation, thank you. Apps are notoriously easy to copy, okay, unless there's some proprietary component in there, which usually there isn't. So I would be curious if your vision turns out to be the case, that this becomes very popular and talked about and well-known amongst cosmetic dentistry industry conferences and so forth. Is there anything here that would protect your company from having 10 people doing it 20 months from now?
Actually, we started with copywriting the idea because we knew that other companies who are on the road are gonna beat us on that. So hopefully we will not gonna start talking about it in conferences, but until we're sure that everything is protected. But that's a good point. Thank you.
Okay, great job. And next we just fixed our teeth. Now we're going to fix our problem with parking. We got Easy Park coming up.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Hindershot.
My name is Jared Silasuk.
And we are 2 of the 5 co-founders of Easy Park. So believe it or not, we are actually only 42 days away from the greatest time of the year. You might be wondering, what is that? Well, that is football season. When you think football season in Iowa, you think tailgating, you think cold fall nights with your friends, and Kinnick and all of its epicness just sold out 70,000 people. But through these expectations, we kind of forget the reality that hits us. What is this reality? Well, it's parking. Now, to locals like us, it's not really a problem. Students, faculty, staff, locals, residents of Iowa City, they usually have a plan. However, for the tens of thousands of fans that flock to Iowa City for every game day, this is a problem every time they come to town. So we at Easy Park decided to do some customer discovery and see what the real issues were. So the first people we talked to were the lessors. These are the people who sell tailgating out of their driveway space or their private yard space. And we found issues anything ranging from waking up multiple hours before the game time, even for morning games just to sell parking, to running in the street with a homemade sign hoping to catch the person before their neighbor does. And so then we decided to talk to the opposite end of the party. We talked to the fans who come to town. What are the issues they face? Once again, we see people waking up excruciatingly early just so they can come to town, blindly hoping that they can catch a spot before somebody else does. Or some of them will take the easy way out and park a 30-minute walk away at places that, even though there are spots available closer to the stadium that they didn't know about, but they didn't want to risk the traffic and congestion. So taking this, we realized, what is the actual size of the problem here at Kinnick? Well, the average attendance of a game is about 65 to 70,000 people. And we took a very conservative calculation of about 5 people per car, which gives about 14 to 15,000 spots available per any given game. Now, the university provides 10,000 spots, which leaves literally thousands of spots available for the residents to fill themselves. And this is not the only problem at the University of Iowa as well. Other stadiums such as Northwestern's, Wisconsin's, Missouri's, state fairs, even the College World Series have large arenas and stadiums in areas where there's residential populations, where the stadium's parking itself is not enough to sustain the amount of people that show up there. And so then we thought about the size of the market. Well, we looked at the top 200 stadiums in the country and the parking availability there, which is about 2.2 million vehicles. And then we did our calculation about 5 people per vehicle again, which is just shy of 800,000 people. And through our research, we found out that people do about 8 games a year of tailgating, and their average parking is about $20 per spot for every game. This equals to about $350 million of a market available to us. So considering all this, we decided to bring you Easy Park. Easy Park is a peer-to-peer platform that will connect both users looking for parking to those who privately sell their own spaces at events such as tailgating and other venues.
So why Easy Park? Well, it's better, faster, and more convenient than how it's already being done. For hosts, we provide them a marketplace for their parking spots. This means they have a platform where they can sell their spots to an audience specifically looking for parking. They also get to pre-sell their spots. So before the game or event happens, they know exactly how much they're going to earn and how many people are coming to their place. And lastly, we help build relationships, which is important, because instead of a stranger parking in your yard, you know exactly who that person is and what to expect from them. From a user, you get to park confidently. You know how much you're paying for parking. 1, you know you have a parking spot. 2, you know exactly where that parking spot is and what to expect from that location. So Easy Park is very simple to use. It all starts with us. From there, we go to the hosts. We go to the hosts and get their spots on our platform. Once you build a network of hosts, we go to the users and build a network of users. What this does is create a demand for parking spots. Through the website, the users are able to reserve parking spots through our website, and when they do, we take a commission from the host's price and then a service charge from the user. So this is a 3-year projection of what we projected, with assumptions of $20 a parking spot and 6 spots per home, which are both conservative numbers. This year, we're going to do 1,800 parking spots this season. This would be $40,000 in sales, and after all is said and done, it would be a net profit of $3,200. To get those 1,800 spots, we only actually need 43 homes for the season. In year 2, we're going to do 35,000 parking spots. To do this, we're going to reach out to 6 out of the 64 schools in the Power 5 conference. To do that, we would need at least 134 homes per school. In year 3, we're going to do 83,000 parking spots. This would be 12 of the 64 schools and 169 homes. So because we have a two-sided market, we have to approach this a little bit differently. For the hosts, we're going to the actual neighborhoods and talking directly to them. This has been the most effective way to get them to join our platform. Also, we're going to supplement that with a referral program where you refer another host and you get a cash incentive. For our users, because they're all around the world, we're using things like Facebook promotion, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. Because with that, we can micro-target specific demographics of people over a wide range of land. With here, you can see we get 28,000 people with only $45 through Facebook. Also, we're utilizing things like the alumni network because if you're an alumni of your school, more than likely you're a fan of that college team. So Easy Park today. Well, today we have a website which you can visit at easyparkonline.com. Right now, we have 3 people signed up on the platform in the Kenneck area, which you can see through here. And that's a total of 22 spots per game as of now. And best of all, our website is mobile friendly. So if you guys have any questions, you can visit us at our website or email us at easyparkonline.com, or you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.
Good job. Obviously, I think it's a great idea. I'm questioning if you, as you go off to, here it's easy, you can knock on doors, you know that an address is an address and how many spots can fill. But where is the sort of background check that as you grow, this house exists, it does have the amount of spots you're selling. Where is the opposite end check before you sell spots that may or may not exist in real life?
So actually when a host applies to our website, we have to verify their spot. So they have to send in pictures and everything, and actually and as far as like with other schools, we'd find a way of outsourcing a way to prove that it is verified. As far as for Iowa City, we will actually go to the house itself for now and actually verify and take our own photos as well.
So there's a chance you have a team of you in every city you pick up? Or do you trust the photos and whatnot? Like anything else?
Yeah, Yeah, so we would, like I said, we're a verification method to make sure that you don't actually sell your neighbor's yard or something. So I provide like a billing detail that you own the property. And again, like the pictures, there's potential, we were thinking about maybe having a land surveyor like in each of these locations to run through the things like you said.
I'm curious, it sounds like the approach is you're just grabbing spaces and then anybody who needs a space can get one, but I'm thinking of like my own experience, and I bet a lot of alumni, like for example, I go to a lot of concerts, I exclusively pretty much use ticket agencies because if I go, I want to be right down front or I'm not going. Is there a way that this service could do a similar thing where it costs more if you're within 2 blocks of Kinnick, a little less if you're a mile from Kinnick or whatever, and in these other, have you thought about tiering it in some way so you can increase your profitability depending on the actual location?
So with the way our revenue model works is that we let the host determine the price, just like Airbnb does. And so what we found out from talking to people in the area, the closer you are, the more expensive the spots are. Out on the Finkbein commuter lot, it's $20 a spot, where right across from Kinnick, people charge up to $300. So it's completely up to the host to charge for the parking. Because our revenue model is a commission, regardless of what they charge, we still would take a profit off it.
And I'm sorry, but is that the same profit percentage? If you convince someone who gets $300 a spot, do you make a higher percentage than, say, somebody out by Finkbein?
Yes, yes we would. So the higher they charge, the higher we would get in profits.
Is there, so I'm thinking if I'm a person who has a parking spot and you rely a lot on pre-sale, but is there any guarantee, am I going to be worried that, well, what if the spots don't sell? Can they still sell them on the day of the game?
I guess that would be part of our terms, conditions, and privacy statements and stuff like that, the technical stuff of the business, where like when you sell a spot, you have to reserve that spot, like you can't do anything else with it. We're still figuring that out with like our lawyers and stuff.
Okay, next we have, who do we have next? Oh yeah, I should just look up. Just look up and you'll see who's next. Herdmaster! Come on up, guys!
One moment, technical difficulty.
Hello, my name is Josie Jewell. And I'm Tyler Kluber. So, as you can see here, I grew up on a family farm, and right there, the little munchkin on the right was me. And I grew up on a family farm in Decorah, Iowa, with over 130 head of cattle. And with being the youngest sibling in my family, there was many problems, and one of the problems was I got the worst jobs. One of the worst jobs was to pitch manure, and the second, and by far worst, was checking fences. Checking fences could take up to 6 hours, depending on where I was and when I had to do it. These happened, I had to check fence at least 1 to 2 times a week, depending on where the fence was, if it was in the timber, or what time of the year it was, or if there's a storm that just hit. And these are the things I look for. Environmental damages. One big thing is a big storm comes through, wind, high wind, and trees fall on your fences. What happens then? I have to go find it with myself walking out there and go see that this has happened. And then sometimes you have to find cattle that are out. Another problem is overgrazing. Right now, you can see on the far right picture, there is, on the right side of the fence, it is way overgrazed, and the cattle have eaten all of the plants down almost to their roots, which is very bad for the efficiency, and it increases disease in the animals in that herd. The way people fix that now fix overgrazing right now, or mob grazing or rotational grazing. The thing they do is they continuously move their cattle through these fenced-in areas with electric fence wire, but the problem is it's very time-consuming and laborsome for a farmer to do.
To put this in perspective, last year in the Midwest alone, over 2.4 million cattle were found outside their designated grazing area because of a breakdown in fencing. And what's even worse is when it comes to cost, the average farmer is spending almost $550 per cow on these fences. When you consider that the average farmer has 40 head of cattle, this raises the expenses to the farm to over $20,000 really quickly on fences that aren't even doing their job.
These are the fences people are using right now. Barbed wire fences on the left side, and then woven wire fences on the right side. And then for a little bit more, if you're using mob grazing or rotational grazing, people use electrical fences, but as you can see, they're very unreliable, and cattle can just run right through them.
So what we will provide is a virtual fence that is more reliable and cost efficient for these farmers so that they don't have to deal with these problems. How are we going to do this? Our product, Herdmaster. On the bottom left there is a picture of the actual prototype that our engineers have developed that will be manufactured onto ear tags that are already on cattle today. This unit will be programmable, and in the fields on the cow's ear will stimulate the cattle when they get to the edge of the virtual fence or imaginary line and turn them around back into their pasture.
And here's a little video. We did some beta testing at my family farm, and if we can get it right here, Bo. We put the prototype on the cow's ear, and then we had it we actually chased it out of the barnyard and had it walk towards the virtual line. As you can see, pause right there, Bo. That's great. Anyway, at the end of the feeder, there's a virtual line that you guys cannot see. And as that cow hits it, don't even pause it. The cow hits it, receives the stimulus, and then turns back around into the designated area. And this is our team to do it. I'm Josie Jewell, CEO and founder of Herdmaster, and here's the Herd Squad that will be helping me and help me through the summer to finish this project. Also, we have 2 electrical engineers working on it right now to finish even more of it, and they're both University of Iowa students, Brian Ehlers and Thomas Lutenow, and then our advisor committee stands of Lon Onzak, who is Senior Vice President of Transamerica, and then we have we have Bob Walker, who is our mentor and works here at the University of Iowa, and then Dean Anderson, who has 20-plus years researching mob grazing and rotational grazing styles.
So with over a $380 billion worldwide market, Herdmaster looks to target the $5.5 billion U.S. market of pasture-fed beef cattle. In our customer discovery, 93 out of 100 farmers said that if they saw a video or the product like that in the video work on their farm, that they would purchase the product. And when it comes to competition, basically you have what Josie mentioned before, the electric fencing and the barbed wire fencing. But we look to be the best in the 4 main qualities that the farmers look for in a fence across the board.
And here's just some of our projections for the next 3 years. First year, we started conservative with 80 farmers. The second year to 400 farmers. And then the third year, we projected 2,000 farmers buying this product with an average of 40 cattle per farm, which would project to be about $12 million in revenue. Our marketing strategies. How are things sold in the ag industry right now? We thought of face-to-face interactions with farmers. That's how farmers like it. That's how farmers have it. Trustworthy things like that, what farmers buy. So we're going to start off with going to trade shows and conferences to show farmers how this works. And then from there, we're going to have this product and we're going to bring it to the farmers and have that face-to-face interaction with them and bring it to their farm and actually show them how it works and use word of mouth past that.
The next steps for Herdmaster, in the next 2 months, we plan to finish filing our provisional patent for the Herdmaster technology. In the next year and a half, we look to foster relationships with our possible investors so that we can go full scale down the road. And most excitingly, in the next 6 months, we plan to win some competition money and seek smaller investments to fund our first batch of beta testing units, which we have already planned to, with 6 counties in Iowa. We've planned agreements with farmers to beta test on their cattle, and we hope that these first beta testers will become our first customers. Yeah, perfect.
The logo is tremendous. Best logo. In terms of the problem and the way you theoretically solve it, it sounds like a no-brainer. Some version of this technology has been around forever for domestic pets. Competition, you're only showing the no-tech traditional fencing. Are you sure there's not competition out there doing this? Can you talk more about that?
Awesome question. Yeah, there's competition, but it's not yet in the market. There's the biggest competition right now that they're testing are collars, which are very, very bulky, and they're very efficient in their ways. And I don't think a farmer's going to want to buy a bulky neck brace or a neck collar that's very big to put on a cow and put out in the field and put out in the woods with sticks getting caught in it. I've already talked through the customer discovery. We've talked to a bunch of farmers about that, and they said they wouldn't want to buy something like that because they could get caught in the barbed wire or caught in something else with a collar like that, and they want to go with the traditional ways of an ear tag.
You mentioned $530 per cow for the fencing. So what is the cost to the farmers per cow with this? Did you mention that?
So for that, we look to cut the cost by over 50%. We're looking at selling what it would be down to per cow, I guess for easy layman terms. It would be about $200 per ear tag.
A nice job, gentlemen. Two comments. One is there are some companies that are at least doing some ear tagging technologies at ISU. So if you haven't talked to them, I would. And along the same lines, when you get to a point where you probably want to do a little equity capital with an angel or two, there's an organization out in Ames called the Ames Seed Capital Group. I know some of the folks there, and this is exactly in their sweet spot.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So does this technology, it costs the farmer more money up front, but they're saving more money in the long run because they're losing less cattle?
Actually be less money up front.
Less money up front.
Yeah, I mean, like Kluver said, there was a farmer is paying up to $20,000 for their barbed wire fences. And with this would be, he said, like cut 50% off of it. The only thing that would be reacquiring is the battery cost for a farmer to buy a battery every year. But otherwise, it's upfront costs that we're beating the conventional fences with.
So speaking of battery, do you have any worry about, like, so it has a year battery life, like is it all of a sudden the battery going to run out and then the cattle are going to be running around?
Yeah, so a farmer brings their cattle in. It depends on the farmer. It's ranged from 6 months to bringing them in every year. And with that, we hope to keep it around anywhere from 8 months to a year or more with battery life. I'm hoping to exceed that. I mean, but really to have that is pretty good for a farmer. And if they can bring them in every 6 months to do their normal checkups, to preg check, to give them their shots, I mean, it's going to work out for them.
All right, and we're down to our final two. Next up is Eventful.
You want to celebrate something. Maybe you want to have a bunch of friends over to try out a couple of new recipes because you're a chef or a caterer. But the problem is, you live here. As much as you love it, it's not exactly the best place for entertaining. You're thinking maybe something bigger, still homey, more comfortable, a lot of space, maybe with even a pool would be nice. Or you need to hold a fundraiser for work. You've been driving past this industrial building for years. It's unique, it has good lighting, and you think with a little tender loving care, it could look great on the inside. But where do you find these places? How do you guarantee that it's unique enough, that you find it when you need it? I'm the founder of Eventful, Rebecca. I'm Rebecca Henry, the founder of Eventful, and this is where we come in. Eventful is the connection between your perfect event space and all the resources and people that are going to make that event great for you. We have a model similar to Airbnb where we connect people with unique spaces and homes who are interested in renting them out to those event holders. And then we connect the event holders to those event service providers, those caterers, event planners, and event designers who are going to make their events great. We care about your experience. We care that you get those venues when you need them on demand. We care that you make those venues the way you want them, that they're customizable. And we care that the value you get for the price you pay is way greater than anything you could get with anyone else. So we looked at the market, and event planning alone in the U.S. is a $4.5 billion revenue industry. So estimating that Iowa is 0.9% of that $4.5 billion industry, Eventful has the potential to make $4.5 million. So we have our customers here. Our first customer is Jenny, the working mom. She wants to save time, energy, and money. Our second customer is Sam, the professional. They need a unique environment. They need something that's different, that's going to give them a great experience. And then our third customer is Mark, the entrepreneur. He wants a concierge experience. He wants to show up, have a good time, and leave without the stress. So we have a table of our competitors here. Our competitors are the traditional ways. So through hotels, restaurants, event planners. But if you look, you can see that we find the venue and the connections to the planning. We have in a home in Iowa City. About 30 people attended. It was catered. We had a local caterer sponsor the catering, and the design was minimal home decor. So how do we get our customers? Through events like the one we held, Experiments. They are an experience for the customer, experiments for us, all wrapped into an event. And then we're reaching out through social media, through a web presence, volunteering, customized recommendations to our customers to show that we can give them exactly what they're looking for. How are we keeping our customers? Through appreciation. Everyone wants to be appreciated. So we're thanking our customers and our partners, throwing events to show that we care for their contribution. And then for loyalty, we're giving them rewards. How are we growing? We have a tiered membership, and so we have the ability for our customers to grow on their status on those tiers, as well as a thorough review and rating system that is going to help us build trust with customers and present and future. So the team. We have Becca Meyer, who does marketing. Jusuli does business analytics and research, and I'm Rebecca Henry, the CEO and founder, and my experience in event planning has showed that this is a problem that needs addressing. So how do we make money? The most important question, right? So we have a service revenue model. We get revenue streams from property owners, the event holders, and our partners. And then those are our, as you can see, our 3-year revenue projections, and that includes revenue from each customer segment, as well as the value of adding employees. So to date, we've done close to 120 customer interviews, and we are going to continue doing those interviews to make sure that the questions we are answering are those that our customers need answered. And then we have an Instagram, and we're looking to build our web presence, get a website, Facebook, those other social media avenues, and then networking and building relationships. So right now we've been networking. We have some potential customers. We have a couple of venues, a homeowner in Marion who's interested in working with us. We have a bed and breakfast who is going to allow us to have an event there for free. And through the networking, we're getting volunteers for our events, and we're building our brand of customer service and relationships and quality. So the next time you have an event, consider us, because we inspire experiences. Thank you.
Really great job, Rebecca. I thought I'd heard every Uber for this, Airbnb for that, and this is a new one, so it's a really great idea. So you kind of like Easy Park, you have another double-sided market, which is complex. If it works, it grows virally, it's wonderful, but getting this going, so your customers are two. You have the property owners and you have the event holders. Which of that segment do you foresee having a harder time developing? And how will you try to kind of grow that in tandem?
So I think the most difficult customer will be the property owners, because it's it's not your traditional property owner, it's someone's home or a property that they own and they're looking to get money off of. They're going to be difficult to acquire. And the way we're doing that is just going to them, being relationship-based, talking to them face-to-face, making sure that they know us and that we know them and they can trust us with their properties. And like I said, we're just working really hard to go out to find those people who are interested and seeing what things are going to get them to sign the dotted line.
So let's pretend that I'm a customer and I'm looking for a space to host an event. So I go to your website and I browse your properties? Is that right?
Yes, so you would go to our website, you would look at a number of properties, and then we would follow up with you, and we would see the type of event you want to have, and then we would get to know you more on a personal level to see what you want, and then we would match you with the best event space for your event.
And then, do I ever see the space? So like Airbnb, you don't see it until you're there. Is it the same kind of idea where you just cross your fingers, hope it's going to be what it says it is?
Well, so we know the properties ourselves. When a property owner comes to us saying that they want to rent out their space, we get to know them as well, and then we go out to see the property, take professional pictures, and those are on the website. So when you come to us saying that you need a space, we know the spaces that you want, and so we're talking to you about them. We're giving you firsthand information. We're kind of like the real estate agent, for that space. But we are still exploring whether or not our customers would like to see the spaces before they do the booking.
Cool. You're talking about property owners and understood, there's obviously more than just homes that you'd be able to sift through, even if it's a neighborhood pool, for instance. And where you stop, of course, is maybe answered, maybe not yet. But my question is, same thing. I go and I want an event and I want a specific theme, food, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that you're going to find the kind of food I choose for the amount of people I'm having, all of that?
Yes.
And have you started the partnerships with local organizations that do offer catering and floral arrangements and that sort of thing?
Yes, so we're actively seeking those partnerships as well. The event that we held and in the slide was actually partially catered by a local caterer. And so we're working on building that relationship, and we're looking into florists and event designers and things like that. So by being a relationship-based company, we're talking to people firsthand and not just trying to see what we can get out of them, but getting to know them and see how we can help them. So if one person connects me to a caterer, then that caterer can connect me to a florist. If I'm connected to the florist, they can connect me to an event designer. So we want to build on networks.
Okay, the final pitch. All right, we have Streamweaver up next. Let's bring it on for Streamweaver.
The notes in your head.
Good? Sports, an entertainment phenomenon that has captivated the world since the beginning of mankind. It dates back to 1400 BC with the Mesoamerican ball game, Ulama. Travel with me to the great ball courts of Chichen Itza, where warriors would throw a ball into a raised hoop. The winners bathed in glory. The losers beheaded brutally. The year is 200 BC, and the Roman games have just begun. Here, gladiators battle for their lives in one of the most epic, yet grueling time periods known to man. Fast forward to the 1920s, where the American football player takes his stance on the field, ready to hurl his body at the opponent, all in hopes to conquer the gridiron. Well, in 2016, a new top-tier athlete is emerging with the prowess to rival all those previously mentioned. I give you the esports athlete. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what is esports? Well, this is esports. More specifically, this is Twitch, an online website where anybody in the world can broadcast themselves playing video games live to an audience of thousands. These people are known as streamers. Now, this is a really big deal. The gentleman we're watching right now has 10,000 people watching him live and 750,000 followers.
But I'm not here to debate with you guys about whether watching somebody play video games online is cool or even a good idea. What I do have are numbers to illustrate why this could be such a big business opportunity. Twitch's website receives over 150 million monthly visitors, and that makes it one of the most visited websites today. But more than that, of those 150 million monthly visitors, the average time spent on Twitch's website is 2 hours per day. That's pretty crazy. But what we're most excited about is that this market is untapped. After conducting nearly 100 CDIs, we found some serious issues. First, there's a brand-to-streamer disconnect. Streamers want endorsement opportunities, they want sponsorships, they want to make money. But they're not business people, they're gamers. So navigating those conversations can be really difficult. On the other end of it, brands, they want to get into the esports market. But communicating back and forth with streamers, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. A more pressing issue, though, is ad block. Of the people who are watching Twitch, 70% of them have ad block enabled while viewing, which means brands aren't making as much impressions and streamers aren't making as much money. For these reasons, we've come up with a solution, Streamweaver, an esports influencer marketing platform. The best way to think of us is like Match.com for brands and streamers. Additionally, we focus on native advertising, which helps both parties bypass that ad block filter. We give streamers autonomy to choose which brands they want to work with, while giving brands efficiency. So, not being familiar with esports, you're probably asking yourselves, how big could this actually be? Well, there's $7 billion spent on influencer marketing today. Diving a level deeper, there's $600 million spent in the esports space. And we believe that in 3 years, we can capture $6 million of this market. But what we're most excited about is the growth rate. By 2019, that $600 million figure I just spoke about is going to be $1.9 billion, which is over a 200% growth rate in the advertising on esports. My name is Kevin O'Rourke, and I'm one of the co-founders of Streamweaver. And I know that we are the team to capitalize on this booming market. Between the four of us, we have skills in sales, marketing, customer relationships, and programming. But more than that, we're passionate about the gaming community, and we hustle. In the short amount of time that we've been working on this, we've built a website and started working on our platform. And it's super easy, so let me show you how it works. As a brand, you can log in and choose to create a campaign. From there, you can choose the method of advertising that you'd like to implement. Next, we have a very easy to fill out form that gives all the relevant campaign details that will be shot out to our database of streamers. And then lastly, you can review the streamers that have applied to your campaign and choose the one that's right for your brand. To test this, we've already started executing our MVP. From our website, we've received 50 streamers to sign up and 5 brands. But what's awesome about this is that we've already made connections happen, which has resulted in deals and us making money. But what we're more excited about are the things that we have coming up. We got in touch with one of the top entrepreneurs in the country, Gary Vaynerchuk, who loved their idea so much that he pushed us on to one of his brand managers who's now working on their first campaign with Streamweaver. If that wasn't enough, I'm so excited and truly honored to announce that Streamweaver will be participating in the 2016 cohort of the Iowa Startup Accelerator. Thank you. I know esports, it might seem like a joke, but there's a real business opportunity here. Help us bridge the gap between esports and the thousands of brands who want to participate. By doing this, we can be a part of the next phenomenon in entertainment. Thank you.
All I have to say right now is yes, my children do this for at least 2 hours a day, and I never understood until now exactly what sorts of business could be made from this, and that's all I got right now.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm a streamer with the following.
Correct.
And I'd like to make money for having developed a following.
Yes.
And I actually care which ads are on the gaming platform that I'm using to broadcast my game playing.
Yes. So they want to work with brands that they like, that they truly and authentically use. So there's a bit of a disconnect right now with trying to find those brands. It's not easy for them. We're just kind of consolidating it all into one place.
And you mentioned ad blockers are defeated by having native ads within what? You lost me on the product side there.
Right. So this is probably a problem in all areas of digital marketing, but for Twitch specifically, the demographic that's viewing it are pretty much millennials who are tech savvy who are using ad block. So what we do is we've developed 9 different ways of advertising, whether that be a verbal endorsement, utilizing that chat box on the side, or maybe the description. All of these ways bypass that ad block filter.
Nice job, Kevin.
Thank you.
A couple things. I want to make sure I understand that you are putting yourself as the connector between the streamers and the brands, correct?
That is correct.
And you're taking a percentage of when they do a deal, correct?
Yes. So here's our revenue slide, which wasn't in the deck, but we saved it because we knew we'd have a question about it. So in a $10,000 deal, we charge the brand 10%. So they pay an extra $1,000 as a service fee, and then we charge the streamer 10%, the same way as a service fee. So we net 20%, but neither side feels that 20%. They only feel 10. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does. Okay. I guess then my question is, would you make more money if you became actually the representative of one of those two sides? In other words, the streamers are under contract to you. You go to the brands and say, I can deliver this, and then you can be more aggressive with what you charge and take yourself out of the middle? Or have you looked at, is this the best, most profitable model for you to use?
I think what we found is this is the most scalable model, but there could definitely be an area within there that could be more profitable that we should explore. So that's a good thought. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so we not only have startups, we educate, right? We learned a lot about Twitch and herds and teeth and all kinds of things like that. It's great. So the judges now have a tough decision because they have to go and deliberate and figure out the award winners. So yes, so we'll let them go and retire to their chambers. Yeah, it's at the end of the hall. Yeah. And Jennifer, you're assisting them? Okay. All right, so now we get to spend some time handing out certificates because all of you pitched, you finished the Student Accelerator. It's a major accomplishment, and we want to recognize that. So to help me with that is David M.K. Do you want to announce?
Yeah. The first team that we're going to have up here will be Adventurist. And we have Lisa Ferguson and Nicole Jardine.
And just stay up here for our group selfie.
The next team is Culturally Connected. Elizabeth Stricka, Calvin Peng Bowler, and Alex Gunkoff. Okay, yeah.
You can cheer for your favorite
Yeah,
team
cheer.
if you want to.
Cheer.
Okay.
The next team is Dental Eye. We have Banan Ismail and Azam Hassan. And the next team we have is Easy Park with Jerish Lashu, Paul Rawls, Alex Chopper, Dylan Link,
Okay, great.
congratulations, guys. And then the next team we'll have up is Low Cab, Val Oliver, Hannah Crow, Grant Lewis, and Matthew Polton. Thank you, guys. You scooch in, guys. And then we have Herdmaster with Josie Jewell, Tyler Kudow, Bill Bauer, Peter Picard, and Kevin Millard. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then the next team we have is Blue Vine Media. Toby Mantel, Louisa Kamak, and Chantel Cullen. Congratulations, guys. And the next team we have is Eventful. Rebecca Henry, Rebecca Meyer, and Josiah Lee. And the last team we have is Streetweaver with Kevin O'Rourke, Wes Merrill, and Athena Ding, and Seamus Ryder.
Hold on here. Shameless. Oh, you can't be Kevin.
Thank you, guys. Please congratulate. Are we going to announce them?
Yeah.
Are they here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see. Yeah. I think, well, let's see. Do you see it? Okay. Yeah, right.
All right, and we also have two more teams. Silver Spoon, these were teams that participated with Venture School, but were due to life events and pivoting in the business world, did not present today. So Silver Spoon with Austin Forker, Husani Nabal, and Connor Hong, who's not here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. And last but not least, Kalapau with Omi Kashif. Is Omi here? No? No? All right, thank you.
Okay, let's see about the selfie. Yeah. Do you have your stick? No, I don't have a stick. Well, you need a stick. That's too big. Well, let's see. Okay, let's get creative. This is part of the fun, you guys. Audience, I hope you're up for this. Okay, we can't be like that. We have to be like this. And we'll just try it. Yeah, I think so too. This one won't hurt when you fall. You're looking out for my safety, aren't you? Okay, like kind of like a funnel is what I'm thinking. You know, haven't you seen those? Yeah. Okay. Hey, get in. Oh, I gotta get.
You ready to put sorority music? No?
All right, now you gotta get up closer because like I'm the big head and then you guys are way back. So like.
Go at an angle. Go up. Higher.
Higher. There we go. Okay, now get in and everybody. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now just in case, Lori, could you take our picture? Well, that was an experiment. Okay.
Get back.
Where's David M. King? Where did he go? He's in the back. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Are you on his shoulders? Maybe should we get down a little bit? Okay, we need to get No, we need to get small. Okay. David M. King, okay, there's a couple in the back I'm not seeing. Okay. All right. Kevin. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, Wes. Okay. All right. Done. Oh, good. All right. Are you going to post them too? I'll post them. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. So help yourself to refreshments in the back, and we'll wait for the judges' announcements.
Venture School is a program that is designed to accelerate the startup process. In 8 weeks, students are encouraged to go out and talk to as many customers as possible and to validate their business model canvas.
Venture School encourages entrepreneurs to get out and do what's called customer discovery before they spend a lot of time working on their product. What that means is talking to real people, real customers, other people in the value chain, other people in the industry, and getting feedback on what's good about their idea and what maybe could be improved a little about the idea.
The format of Venture School is we start with a 3-day workshop where we dive deep on the boxes on the business model canvas. We then get the students out of the classroom and do customer discovery out in the real world so that they can validate those boxes.
This customer development focus of Venture School is really figuring out what exactly your customers' needs are and developing a product that perfectly matches that.
For the last decade or so, we've been teaching students and entrepreneurs to write business plans. And there was a good reason for that. Venture capitalists require a business plan, and by going through the process, you're able to envision the issues that are associated. But we also found out with business plans is that very few of them survive the first contact with customers. So we asked ourselves, why? Is there a flaw in the system? And the fact of the matter is, it goes back to this concept of what is a startup. The lean methodology says a startup is an entity that is searching for a business model. A company is an entity that is executing its business model.
In Venture School, we learned that what we thought was our greatest product, nobody really cared about. But we learned what people really cared about was, hey, you solved this problem, and then we're really excited. Well, that's easy for us to solve. And so we've been going after the types of problems that we identified that people wanted. The industry wanted when we went through Venture School.
Customer development allows you to figure out what the customers want, what they're willing to pay for it, what features they want, where they want to buy it, how you're going to get their attention, all while you're building the product. And so it saves an immense amount of time, it saves an immense amount of money, reduces the failure rate by getting it all right before the product's even finished.
I think Adam went to the bathroom, but hopefully he'll be back in a second. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and give out awards. Come on up, David.
Stand? Should we sit? Should we do?
Jennifer has it.
Sorry.
Kim just did interviews, so she's gonna have to
I
hurry
took
up.
somebody else's spot.
Ms. Harris.
Where'd these guys go? Kiss me the food. Where are they? Just kidding. Hi again. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, we do. Man, that was cool. Emotional. Good job. All right. All right, should we go ahead? Oh, there she is. Ms. Harris, come on down. We're all waiting for Kim, who's being interviewed. Please just wait just a moment. There's Adam. Well, thank you all very much for coming out today. Again, we're the kind of the coaching team for the summer, and we were just talking. It's kind of like when your kids graduate. I mean, it's an emotional time for us because, guys, wow, that was awesome. I mean, we were just talking about. I mean, thank you. A hand for these group guys, huh? For those of you who are mentors, can you put your hands up for your mentors? Who was here for the first day? You remember, Tyler? It's different, isn't it? They've come a long way, and we're really proud of them. So what do you think, Samantha? It's awesome. So some are going to, as you can see, launch very successful companies, but everybody in the program came along personally, and it's going to be a much better positioned professionally. So some thank yous to get started today. A privilege for me to work with this team. I mean, Kim already introduced them, but these guys have been a pleasure to work with. These guys inspire. Send an email. I mean, I like what I'm doing anyways, as all of us do, and we're passionate about helping people like this, but how hard is it to do when you're working with people like this? So thank you for the opportunity to work with you guys very much. We're exchanging emails about last-minute changes to presentations at 10 and 11 o'clock last night, and it didn't even feel like work. It just felt like you're getting your kids ready for the big graduation. So want to thank David Hensley in the back row. Mr. Hensley, please put your hand up. David is the executive director of JPEC and helps us enable to get the funding and do what we need to do to put on this wonderful program. And with Jennifer's leadership and the team that supports us, it's much appreciated because there's a lot goes on behind the scenes. So thank you, David, for all that you do to help us. Lori's here from UNI. Want to wave your hand, Lori? Thank you for coming down today. It's truly it's much beyond the Iowa City area. We have teams here from UNI. We have a team here from Wartburg, right? Which is the first time we've had somebody from Wartburg. So we're proud to be extending across the state in what we're doing here. So you didn't come here to listen to me talk. I will now get to the awards, and we're going to have our team is going to hand them out today. The judges deliberated. This was not easy on any of the events. There was debate on all the events, so all the competitions. We actually have 4 awards to give out, 5 awards, a new award today as well. First of all, we had a tie for Best Pivot. 2 companies that started with, one company started with a grill caddy. And that company was going to help you get stuff out to your grill until they realized they had no passion for grilling. And they dropped that idea and decided to go from that little idea to changing the digital advertising agency world. So LoCAD, come up, Best Pivot. That's one of our 2 winners for Best Pivot. Congratulations. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. Our second winner for Best Pivot started out the summer, actually started out in Founders Club last spring. Founders Club is our University of Iowa Student Business Incubator. And by the way, before I forget, how many of you came here are in the Founders Club? A whole bunch of folks. Thank you for coming out, guys. Really appreciate you supporting the entrepreneur community. This organization started out thinking that the biggest problem in the world is how am I going to get my cell phones charged when I'm in Europe? Decent idea, except she kind of realized that there were a bunch of people already doing that idea and completely pivoted away from that travel idea to Eventful. Eventful, come on up. So both of these teams will be winning $1,000. So congratulations to them for that.
Yeah, she said she just put another 1,000. Sorry.
Congratulations, Rebecca. All right. And then our next award was the best presentation. And when the judges were deliberating this, almost all of them immediately said, I knew exactly what she was talking about in the first 30 seconds. I knew what the problem was and how she was going to solve it. Best presentation, Adventurist. You look good, though. You look good, though, by the way. That should have been clear. All right. The next company started off the summer kind of with the concept that they knew that there was a problem because they'd lived it before, but really needed to go out and validate that idea, and went out and talked to a ton of farmers. Herdmaster. They may look like big guys, but they started the summer quite shy. Congratulations. Most of our students are spending a full time on their companies this summer, but they all, have to live and do other things in their lives as well. Most of them some of them had part-time jobs in addition to this. Those gentlemen were doing workouts every morning on the football field for the football team. It's impressive to see what you can get done. When you say that you're a University of Iowa student athlete, you're a student athlete and entrepreneur and a lot of other things. So it's very impressive what these guys have done in their time. Now, last but not least, before we get to our last award, the best startup. So those awards that we just handed out are $1,000 each. This award is a $2,000 award. It's the best startup, and that goes to Streamweaver. So now, this is the part where, yes, there were 14 teams, by the way, that started our Accelerator. As you can tell, there are 9 that presented today. Some of them are with us today. Silver Spoon's back there, I see. Thank you guys for coming today. They made it a long way. They pivoted with 3 weeks to go, and they're coming on strong at the end. Some others didn't make it through the summer. Then there's some that didn't win money today, but I can tell you that they're going to make success. They're going to be in our Founders Club up there at the University of Iowa, and they're going to be successful no matter what happens. But you all get to go away with a prize today. And to announce that prize, Ms. Nolte, if you would please come up.
This is funny. So with a little bit of dramatic flair, you all got on the stage today, and we thank you for that. And a successful business owner is also a very successful part of the community. So with a little twist of I need a little customer discovery, our Rock of Ages opens at the Angler tomorrow night, and tonight is the invited dress rehearsal. So I'd like to invite all of you who pitched on the stage today to be in our audience tonight and be a part of the community, and then be my customer feedback before the paying customers start tomorrow. So please, 8 o'clock tonight at the Angler. It is a full-scale musical with a rock band. Rock of Ages, it's raunchier than heck. Do not bring your children, and have some fun. So I'll see you at the Angler tonight, I hope, and congratulations today.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Leslie Triplett. Please get some dumplings over at Pop's Barbecue, right? You'll see Leslie venues all over town this summer. She works really hard, so please, they're great dumplings. All right, so thank you all so much for coming today. Please continue to support your entrepreneur ecosystem, and all the best, and enjoyed working with you guys very much. Thank you.